Here we are, and welcome to another episode of the Friday Night Movie Podcast. We have not missed a week in 8.5 years, and we might be a little bit late this week, but we're gonna predate the episode, so history books won't really notice anyway.
Yeah, the bat mitzvah has not happened yet.
The bat mitzvah has not officially happened yet, even though I clearly look terrible. Like I've been awake for an entire week.
I sound like I've been awake for an entire week. I feel hollow. That's my level of exhaustion. But the bat mitzvah hasn't happened yet, so I don't know why this is going on.
Exactly. I don't know why.
It's allergies. Tell everyone
exactly. It's allergies. We're recording from the future. Also, I'm not sure the Devil Wears Prada 2 has come out yet. I will be reviewing it on this episode.
You know what? I can review Influenced, which this would presumably be opening weekend of Influence, so I can review that.
Oh, that's great. Okay.
Let's talk about that. I was like, that's the newest thing I've seen.
Let's start there, Beck. You saw Influenced, which was hold on. To set it up for everyone. It's a brilliant comedy starring and from the mind of the brilliant Jill Kargman. Send up of upper.
Like, you can't even understand. She's such an icon, this woman. We are obsessed with her. I hope everyone listening already knows who Jill Kargman is and loves her the way that we love her and are obsessed with her. And if for some reason you don't, I'm a little sad for you that you're so late to the game, but I'm also so excited for you that you get to finally meet her and be introduced to her via this movie, because it is like double chef's kiss Jill Kargman, just not holding back.
And she is not playing herself. She's playing a very different character than her actual personality.
Very, very different.
But the movie embodies her sense of humor. It is so funny.
And it's a send-up of the Upper East Side. It is her commentary on influencer culture and, parenting and social peer pressure as an adult and all of these things. But what I will say, where there are the similarities between her beyond hilarious character of Danielle, I think it's spelled D-Z.
With a Z.
Yeah. Spelled with a Z. And Jill is that at the core, there's a lot of heart. There are great values. There's tremendous love and what I would say, and Yiddishkeit, right? And that's where there are these real, and that's what those are the real connective pieces of the movie that really, as over the top as it is, and as her character is, you love her and you're rooting for her, because there is something very authentic at the core of this character that I do believe, Jill has a lot of these same values: the love for her children, the love for her community, being a good person, kindness,
seeing the good in people.
And you know what?
And also not caring what other people think. Like when you see someone and you're loyal to them and you become family to them, which is what I think one of the great arcs of this character is that you treat them well. I love that. It's all. Oh, go ahead. No, I was just saying that it was directed by Rachel Israel, who also directed The Floaters.
Yeah.
And it has a whole bunch of others amazing Floaters people involved. Danny Vecchione, the cinematographer, Jordan Janota, the production designer, and his whole team who worked on Floaters. Also the camera team, Andrew Crichton. They were all part of this movie.
All there. And it looks beautiful. So like shout out to Danny and Jordan in that respect. And so I'm not going to brag, but let's just say I saw it in a theater, a gorgeous theater filled with like quite the who's who in that room. That was a crowd of some pretty impressive people. And everyone in that theater, they were not just laughing, they were cackling from the opening to the very end. So it was so well received. It was so fun. And this is a movie that seeing it in a crowd is it's a fun movie theater experience, because you are like laughing along at the jokes with people. And I just really feel like it makes it come alive even more. I think also if you're on your couch and you're watching it, you're going to laugh just as hard, but you'll be giggling to yourself as opposed to like sharing in the joy of the satire with And it has amazing cameos. It has such funny cameos.
You got,
I don't want to
Drew
ruin it for
Barrymore,
people.
Matt Damon,
Gwyneth Paltrow.
like, and then that's, well, you see other ones, but that's and uh, we should also disclose we are co-executive producers on this movie, and very proudly so.
Very proudly so, yeah.
But we're also telling you what we really feel about the movie.
What I laughed so hard. Oh my God. Jill just has a way of just cutting through all the BS that just tears you apart. I mean, it's just so funny.
I want to shout out to two actors who I think are really standouts in this, and one of them is David Krumholtz. Is so sweet and lovable in this movie as like the conscience of the area of New York. Like he's like the moral conscience. And Eugene Cordero is hilarious as the professional high-end dog walker. It's one of the funniest scenes I've ever seen when he's interviewing the dog.
When he's interviewing
to be the dog.
So funny. So that was great. It's out in theaters now. It's going to be expanding. I believe, like you kind of see
you'll see it's doing well, so it's going to be in more theaters. It's great.
Chances are it's coming to your city. Go see it, support it. Great cast, great filmmakers. Yeah. So I saw that. So that was my theater experience. Then my home watching experience is I started to watch this new documentary series on HBO called The Dark Wizard, and it's about a really, really famous climber, this guy Dean Potter. He was like a real sort of rock star figure in the climbing world. Now, I thought it was going to be just like a one-off documentary, so I had a little bit of like a Wicked Part 1 experience watching this episode, because I'm like 40 minutes in, and I'm like, God damn, they're really going into a lot of detail. And like, I don't really feel like we're at the part, because like I know, unfortunately, he's no longer living. He died in a tragic accident, as many of these sort of free soloist, base jumping squirrel suit, extreme adrenaline guys do. Sorry, it's a spoiler, but it's a real story. I mean, if you know, you know. And I'm like, wow, they're really going to have to wrap this up quickly, because they haven't even gotten into the part where he starts doing the sport that he's eventually going to die from. And then the episode ends, and I was like, what? There's 4 episodes, and there's more coming out. So it seems to be a very long series. I might have to take a Katie Jones approach of watching every other episode, because while I'm really fascinated by this guy and his story, I don't know that I'm going to be there for a minimum of 5 or more episodes. About
you
the
love
deep
climbing,
dive
but it sounds like it's going to be depressing.
Well, here's the thing about this guy. So what I know of his persona is like the rock star, the crazy adrenaline guy, like the punk guy, damn the man. He does like all the crazy stunts because no one's going to hold him back. And that like all sounds really cool and fun and sensational. And then as soon as you start to like learn about him, you're like, oh God, no, he was just like tragically unwell. And it seems like the way they've explained it in the first episode, he had very severe bipolar disorder that led to these extreme manic episodes where he would do things that were like so outrageously dangerous.
Poor guy.
And it's so like it like hurts your heart, because he's sort of framed in this really specific way. I think his legacy. That makes him sort of a larger than life character, and then you really like spend some time in this movie getting to know him and the people that knew him, and I mean in this series, and it's like, oh, it's so sad. But like the things that he did as a climber are so outrageous. They're so extreme. I definitely don't want my kids who are really into climbing to ever watch it, because I don't want them to get the ideas of, oh, maybe we should try bouldering 200 feet in the air without ropes on like terrifying overhangs. Like, no, we don't need to do stuff like that. Like, yeah. So, and not even like it makes you appreciate how in the movie Free Solo, Alex Honnold is going to free solo a really famous climb in Yosemite, but the movie is all about the high stakes, the people that care about him, the like how traumatic it is to like train him for this. And it's like, and I think it frames very well just how specialized it is what he's doing and really how dangerous it is. Whereas this is a little bit different so far. It's just about like what sort of like extreme character and personality is he?
Dark Wizard. I thought it was going to be about a cult. Why is it called the Dark Wizard? Is that like was that his nickname or?
It must have been. I don't know enough about him to know if that's what he was nicknamed as, but certainly it's really interesting because when in that first episode when they're kind of telling you about his original group of climbers that he led, that he was basically he was almost like a little bit like a cult leader. He had such a magnetic personality and big personality that people wanted, and they followed him, and how they kind of did these extremely dangerous things because he wanted to do them and they were doing it with him. So maybe he's a bit of a cult leader. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe that was his nickname. I'm not an expert on Dean Potter. It's just sort of like a figure that you know of.
Maybe because his last name was Potter.
Potter.
People were like Harry Potter, but he was a dark wizard. Like he was a sad
I do
wizard.
think it's and I do think in the title they should have been like the Dark Wizard, a X-part series. Because you definitely think, like, why would there be a multi-part? It's a lot of footage to watch. It's a lot.
Well, I mean, yeah. The story sounds tragic. It sounds compelling, though. I think
it's super compelling. It's really.
I think you folks who are into climbing documentaries probably more interested.
Yeah, I'm pretty. And then there's this climbing movie with Charlize Theron where now she's playing some climber. That I'm not going to lie, I really want to. In fact, I was about to watch that, and then my brother-in-law Hussa was like, "No, let's watch the Dean Potter one," and I was like, "Oh, even cooler." So I'm actually very excited to see Apex.
Is there a interesting? Mm-hmm. I'm just intrigued by this. What's the Charlize Theron one about?
I don't know, but if I'm gonna guess, this is actually really fun. Let's pretend that let's guess what it's about based on like minimal press. And
I didn't even heard of this.
And like
movie.
One Netflix teaser, so it's like a Netflix movie. So it's gonna be at a certain within like a certain zone of storytelling. Let's say I'm gonna guess she is like a super elite climber. Mountaineer, because I saw the first like 10 seconds, so she seems to be like on some like very cold mountain range. And I'm gonna assume there's some sort of pursuit, like somehow she's being chased. And she
like cliffhanger.
I feel like it's gonna be a cliffhanger.
Why haven't we had
like what if she's
why haven't we had another cliffhanger?
Like maybe she's guiding someone who's being pursued and she doesn't know, or maybe she like has like somehow sees something on the mountain and like there's like bad guys and drugs and like who knows. But I feel like she somehow is going to be chased and is going to have to use all of her skills to survive, like rock climbing on the mountain while being pursued. That's what I'm going to like. I want it to be about that, but I want to be very clear, listeners. I have no idea what this movie is about. Like none. I have absolutely no idea. I've seen a couple of press stunts where she's like rock climbing a wall in central. It's
amazing. I can't wait till we find out. What the movie
like
sounds great. Charlize Theron climbing. I mean, by the way, why don't we talk as much about Cliffhanger?
I don't know.
Is that John McTiernan or Tony Scott? Which one is that? The one with Stallone,
No, I know which movie it is. But Cliffhanger, is that... What's the other one that's not...
Oh, Rennie Harlan. Rennie Harlan. It was
another
director
other one
from
that's
that
not
era.
Cliff Harland?
Rennie Harlan?
What's the other one that's not Cliffhanger? Isn't there like a similar one?
Well, there's one... There's a few other climbing movies.
There's like a few other...
There isn't one as good as Cliffhanger. John Lithgow. I think Michael Rooker's in it too.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Michael Rooker. Janine Turner, star of Northern Exposure.
Anyway, so I don't know. I'm hoping it's a cliffhanger type movie. We'll find out. I will be watching it, so I will report back to everyone. Stand by. No one needs to see it. I'll watch it for us.
Okay, very cool. I have what to report. I went to see The Devil Wears Prada 2.
Oh, so a little different from the content I've been diving into. Shai's like fashion.
Yeah. But I want to say some really nice things about this very cool movie. Number one, Aline Brosh McKenna, or Alan Brosh McKenna. I don't know how to pronounce her name, but the writer who wrote the original one, who wrote this one, I loved the script of this movie. I loved where she took the story. There were little nods, some fan service, but overall, I felt like the characters were starting from different places than they were before. So I didn't feel like
20 years later.
So I didn't feel like I was seeing the same. I didn't feel like I was seeing the same thing over again, and the performances of the top tier cast. So Emily Blunt, Anne Hathaway, of course, Meryl Streep, Stanley Tucci. A plus, A plus, A plus. And the woman who plays her friend who runs the art gallery, actress escapes me, but she is a much more significant character in this story.
And are there new assistants? Does Miranda have new
She does, but one of the things that I thought was great is that the movie takes place, 20 years later. And so it takes place in the current work culture, which is a lot different.
Like they get to have lunch breaks?
Yeah, like there's some of it is you see Miranda adapting to the current way things are done. How is that a good way to say it? Like,
yeah, sure.
You see Miranda as a boss in the current era, which I thought was interesting.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
There's been a lot of chat on the internets about people feeling really blah about Andy's boyfriend. And they're like, again, with just some boring boyfriend.
He's definitely not interesting to me. Ali said he's Australian, so that's like a plus. I feel like if he's Australian, that's like a very good thing to be. I mean, it's
just because it's a great accent.
It's a great accent, and it's and I think that if you're Australian,
points, you're like, oh, he must be exotic.
I think if you're Australian, especially Australian, like it can be really. The accent really throws off the good lookingness. Now the guy's very good looking. I mean, right? Like he's better looking than me, right? Like I mean, like this is a good looking person. It's an actor. It's not a normal regular person. That element of the movie, in my opinion, is not necessary. It's not. It doesn't feel particularly necessary, and it feels like if anything was cut from the movie, that was one of the things that was cut from the movie. But what I also love about the movie is they don't force Andy into being a wife and a mother and everything in her life is perfect and everything is the way, like she has clearly dedicated herself to her career, and Miranda has dedicated herself to her career, and they love what they do. And while there are moments of regret, I think one of the really cool things about the movie is that they embrace these people for who they are, and not like the lesson isn't like slow down and smell the roses and your life will be better.
Right.
It really has to do with loyalty and friendship and work values. Like it wasn't. I was just impressed that I didn't feel like it fell into traps of trying to preach this is what your life should be like to be happy message.
Can I tell you what I'm most excited about for seeing it? It's that Emily Blunt over the last 20 years of her career she's played so many phenomenal characters, right? Like incredible dramatic turns, comedy, sweetness, but she really has I feel like my association with Emily Blunt is a very warm and loving association, and a specific type of sweet comedy like in Fall Guy. And I'm so excited to see her go back and be that really sharp, mean, biting character, because she does it so well and she doesn't get to do it enough.
She is great in the movie. I think that there is a final scene with her in the movie that I do feel like was like, maybe we filmed this, maybe we'll put it in, maybe we'll take it out.
And it's her being nice.
And they showed the movie. I don't know if it's her being nice. I don't want to ruin the resolution. I thought they used her character really well, like really, really well in the movie, like really well. And I think that they did a couple of bold things with her character that I really enjoyed. But there's this final scene. It's more of a Mary Sue scene for Andy's character that I feel like they shot and they did test audiences, and test audiences either said, we want more Emily Blunt, which, by the way, that's a fair thing. I think more Emily Blunt.
I want more Emily Blunt.
I mean, I watched 10 Commandments, and I'm like, hey, how come Emily Blunt's not in this movie? Right. I watched Fiddler on the Roof. I'm like, why can't she play Tevye? Right? But I think that she's in it significantly, and the way she is until that point is like really just fits the story perfect. But it struck me as maybe like, test audiences want one more scene with Emily Blunt, and this is what we came up with, or this was we showed it to two different versions, and we gave you this version. And more people like that one, so they went with that one. But if that's what makes people happy, it doesn't break the story. The other thing so there's an actor who I usually really, I mean, I feel terrible to say this, but I really don't enjoy Justin Theroux's performances. Guy's a super smart writer, but I know people love him, but he is hilarious in this. And it is the absolute, not only is it his best performance that I've ever seen, I loved him in this. He plays a moron tech bro, like a billionaire tech bro who, anyways, I won't tell you more, but he's really, really good in it. Kenneth Branagh is in it as Miranda Priestley's current husband or lover or whatever. And he's good in it, but it wasn't I'm sure Kenneth Branagh wasn't cheap, and for the amount they had him do in the movie, either there was more
you
or
probably wanted someone with gravitas, because
you're right. I will say you had to have someone that you'd believe Miranda would be married to.
Right. And he has so much gravitas. He's just so much theater. He's so serious. You can imagine that. And I think that. Her twins come back and now they're adults because they're 30 or whatever?
They mention the twins, but they're not really in it. That's a good point, because spoiler, her marriage is not the problem in Miranda's life in this one. It seems to be relatively happy and calm, and it's found
she had some sort of scandal, and Andy is brought in to rewrite the story or whatever, whatever.
Yeah, that's part of it. Actually, I thought the story was really. I really enjoyed the story, and I liked the structure of it. But Ken, you're right. You have to believe, because her relationship to her husband is not a problem in this. You kind of have to believe that she would be married to this guy.
Realistically, believe she's married to.
Right. And so in that sense, it's very believable. And he plays a violinist, like a big time famous violinist. So he's an artiste.
I believe that.
It's clear that I don't know what the budget of this movie is, but the top people in this movie must have cost so much money.
It was a lot. The budget was a lot.
The budget was a lot for this movie.
It was a lot.
Right?
I think that's just what the official number was. A lot of money.
Okay. Yeah. And so the sort, how, here, I'll put it this way. You know how in the first Devil Wears Prada, you have Anne Hathaway, Meryl Streep, and Stanley Tucci, and then this ensemble of all these other people who are really, really memorable. Notably, Emily Blunt, who I don't think was famous yet.
No, right? I think it was one of her first big roles, or one of her first American parts, or something.
And so that and then since that really broke her out, and I didn't walk away with any newfound amazing character. And there were a lot of other parts of the movie, but there was no one I walked away being like, this is my new favorite person that I need to see in a third one, because they do leave the door open for a third one. And so that would be my only critique, is that I didn't feel like, I mean, that being said, the sun and the lights are shining on all the right characters. And you get a lot more, I don't know screen wise, but you get a lot more of Miranda's character. And so anyways, I loved it. I thought it was a superb sequel. It was great to wait the time, because waiting the time gave you what to respond to, over the changing times. Everyone was wonderful in it. And if you liked Devil Wears Prada, I think Devil Wears Prada 2 is a great 2026 moment. I kind of want to see another one. So with that, this has been a nice, fun episode. And we will be back with the post Bat Mitzvah report.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Love you. So. Thank you for listening to Friday Night Movie, the sibling rivalry and pop culture podcast. Join the Friday Night Movie family by following @FryNightMovie on all of the socials and visiting our website, FryNightMovie.com. Our theme song is by What Does It Eat? And make sure to leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks for listening.